Today's Bible history video is going to take a deep dive into the history and significance of the 12 tribes of Israel. All scripture quoted is from the ESV, the English Standard Version. The story of the 12 tribes of Israel begins with Abraham, whom God called out of Ur of the Chaldeans. God made a covenant with Abraham, promising that his descendants would become a great nation. Genesis chapter 12, verses 1 to 3. Abraham's son Isaac carried on this covenant, and Isaac's son Jacob became the father of the 12 sons who would establish the 12 tribes of Israel. Jacob, whose name was changed by God to Israel in Genesis chapter 32, verse 28, had 12 sons by his wives, Leah and Rachel, and their maidservants Bilhah and Zilpah. The name Israel means he strives with God, or God prevails, highlighting the spiritual struggle and victory associated with Jacob's life. These sons were Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, Issachar, Zebulun, Joseph, and Benjamin. Reuben was the firstborn son of Jacob and Leah. Despite being the eldest, Reuben lost his right as the firstborn because he defiled his father's bed by sleeping with Bilhah, his father's concubine. Genesis chapter 35, verse 22. Genesis chapter 49, verses 3 to 4. Because of this, his birthright was given to the sons of Joseph. 1 Chronicles chapter 5, verse 1. Simeon was the second son of Jacob and Leah. Along with his brother Levi, Simeon was involved in the violent massacre of the men of Shechem after their sister Dinah was defiled. Genesis chapter 34. Jacob's final blessing in Genesis chapter 49, verse 5 to 7, foretells that Simeon's descendants would be scattered in Israel. Indeed, the tribe of Simeon received an inheritance within the territory of Judah. Joshua chapter 19, verses 1 to 9. Levi, also the son of Jacob and Leah, was likewise involved in the Shechem incident. However, the tribe of Levi was later set apart for priestly duties. God chose the Levites to serve in the tabernacle and to care for its functions, and they did not receive a specific land inheritance like the other tribes. Instead, they were given cities scattered throughout Israel. Numbers chapter 35, verses 1 to 8. The high priest specifically came from the family line of Aaron within the tribe of Levi, serving as the spiritual leaders and mediators between God and the people. Exodus chapter 20. The Levites were supported by the tithes of the other Israelites. Numbers chapter 18. Judah was the fourth son of Jacob and Leah. Although not the firstborn, Judah rose to prominence among his brothers. His tribe became the most powerful and influential of all the tribes, and from Judah's line came King David and, ultimately, Jesus Christ, the Lion of the tribe of Judah. Genesis chapter 49, verse 10, Revelation chapter 5, verse 5. The tribe of Judah settled in the southern part of Israel, and Jerusalem, the capital city, was within its territory. Dan was the first son of Jacob and Bilhah, Rachel's servant. The tribe of Dan initially settled in the western part of Israel, near the Philistine territories. However, they later migrated northward and captured the city of Laish, renaming it Dan, Judges chapter 18. The tribe of Dan struggled with idolatry, as noted in Judges chapter 18, verse 30 to 31. It is significant to note that the tribe of Dan is omitted from the list of tribes in Revelation chapter 7. Many scholars believe this may be related to Dan's association with idolatry, though Scripture does not explicitly state the reason. Naphtali was the second son of Jacob and Bilhah. The tribe of Naphtali inherited land in the northern part of Israel, near the Sea of Galilee. Joshua chapter 19, verses 32 to 39. Naphtali is often associated with speed and agility, as described in Jacob's blessing, Genesis chapter 49, verse 20. Gad was the first son of Jacob and Zilpah, Leah's servant. The tribe of Gad chose to settle on the east side of the Jordan River, along with Reuben and half of the tribe of Manasseh, Numbers chapter 32. Despite being on the opposite side of the Jordan, they were faithful in helping their fellow Israelites conquer the Promised Land. Asher was the second son of Jacob and Zilpah. The tribe of Asher settled in the western region of Israel, along the Mediterranean coast. Joshua chapter 19, verses 24 to 31. Asher's territory was known for its rich olive oil production, as reflected in Jacob's blessing, Genesis chapter 49, verse 20. Issachar was the fifth son of Jacob and Leah. The tribe of Issachar settled in the fertile Jezreel Valley. Joshua chapter 19, verses 17 to 23. Jacob's blessing described Issachar as a strong donkey, indicating hard work and labor. Genesis chapter 49, verse 14 to 15. Zebulun was the sixth son of Jacob and Leah. The tribe of Zebulun settled between the Sea of Galilee and the Mediterranean Sea. Joshua chapter 19, verses 10 to 16. Jacob's blessing indicates that Zebulun would dwell by the seashore and be involved in maritime trade. Genesis chapter 49, verse 13. Joseph was the first son of Jacob and Rachel. Instead of receiving a single portion, Joseph's two sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, each received their own tribal allotments, effectively giving Joseph a double portion of inheritance. Genesis chapter 48. This fulfilled Jacob's blessing of adopting Ephraim and Manasseh as his own sons. Genesis chapter 48, verse 5. Ephraim became one of the most prominent tribes in the northern kingdom of Israel and was often used as a symbol for the entire northern kingdom. The tribe of Manasseh was divided into two groups, with half settling on the east side of the Jordan and the other half on the west side. Joshua chapter 17. Benjamin was the second son of Jacob and Rachel. The tribe of Benjamin inherited land between Judah and Ephraim, including the city of Jerusalem before it was fully captured by Judah. Joshua chapter 18, verses 11 to 28. Benjamin produced several notable figures, including King Saul and the Apostle Paul, who described himself as a Hebrew of Hebrews, of the tribe of Benjamin. Philippians chapter 3, verse 5. Before Moses died, he gave prophetic blessings to each of the tribes in Deuteronomy chapter 33, complementing the earlier blessings of Jacob in Genesis 49. These blessings provide additional insight into the characteristics and future of each tribe. After the reign of Solomon, the United Kingdom of Israel split into two, the northern kingdom called Israel, which included 10 tribes, and the southern kingdom called Judah, which included the tribes of Judah and Benjamin, along with many Levites who remained there for temple service. 1 Kings chapter 12. In 722 BC, the northern kingdom of Israel was conquered by the Assyrians, and many of the 10 tribes were exiled and scattered. These are often referred to as the 10 lost tribes of Israel. However, remnants of these tribes may have been absorbed into the southern kingdom, or remained in small groups throughout history. The prophet Isaiah foretold that God would gather the dispersed of Israel from the four corners of the earth. Isaiah chapter 11, verse 12, which ties into the hope of restoration seen in both Old and New Testament prophecy. The 12 tribes of Israel are mentioned again in prophetic visions. For example, in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 48, there is a vision of the restoration of the tribes. In the book of Revelation, chapter 7, verses 4 to 8, 144,000 people are sealed from the tribes of Israel, 12,000 from each tribe, though the tribe of Dan is notably absent. It is important to note that the lists of the tribes vary slightly in different parts of Scripture, depending on the context. For example, the tribe of Levi is sometimes omitted from the land inheritance lists because they were given cities rather than a territorial allotment. Joseph is sometimes listed as a tribe, and other times his sons Ephraim and Manasseh are listed instead. The story of the 12 tribes of Israel is deeply woven into the history, law, and prophecy of the Bible. Understanding these tribes helps us see how God's promises to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob were fulfilled, and how these promises point forward to God's greater plan of redemption through Jesus Christ. If you enjoyed learning about the Bible, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment about what story you want to see next.